Normal or Gaussian law of random errors. Random errors, they follow a law which is known as the normal law or the Gaussian law of random errors. This is expressed in the form of a graph over here. On the x-axis we have the physical quantity delta x, which is actually the difference of true value and observed value, which is error. On the y-axis we have a number n. N means the number of chances a given amount of error can occur in our physical quantity. So according to this Gaussian law of random errors, the probability of occurrence of positive and negative error is same. For example, if we take a point over here A, the difference from O to A gives us a value of the error, that is delta x1. If we take a point B onto the left side towards the negative x-axis, which is also present at the same distance from O as the distance of A from O, we call it as delta x2. Now delta x1 is positive in nature, delta x2 is negative in nature. So this is positive error, this is negative error. Both magnitude are same. But if we look at their chances of occurrence, the value of n, which is the chance of occurrence of a particular value delta x present either on to the right side or to the left side of the zero, it is same. If delta x is small, more are the chances of its occurrence. You can see the variation of the chance of occurrence of a error with its magnitude. So if we are present far away from the origin, over here you can see a large amount of error is present in our measurement, but corresponding to it the value of n is very small. So very minute chances are there that such huge error will be present in our measurement. But as the value of delta x decreases, error decreases, the chance of occurrence of such type of error also increases. So arithmetic mean of large number of observations can be taken as the true value of the physical quantity or the measured quantity. So we have seen from this law that as the value of delta x decreases, error decreases, greater are the chances that these type of errors will present in our measurement. So that's why when we perform a particular experiment, we try to repeat the same experiment again and again. We try to obtain the result of the same physical quantity again and again, because due to any error which we have just studied, our values are going to be differ slightly. So which of those measured values we have to take as the actual or the true value of the physical quantity to be measured, that will cause a problem. That's why in order to express our last result as the answer, which is to be considered as the true value of the physical quantity, we repeat the observations multiple times. We try to obtain the result of the same physical quantity multiple times, and then we take the arithmetic mean of those large number of observations of the physical quantities, and the average or the arithmetic mean value of those large number of observations, we take it as the true value of the physical quantity. So this is the reason why the measurements are repeated again and again during an experiment. Let experiment is repeated multiple times, and x1, x2, x3, so on up to xn. These are the values which are measured n times of a physical quantity. First time we obtained the result x1, second x2, then x3, x4, x5, then last xn. That means the same observation, the same physical quantity was measured n time. Then the true value of the physical quantity, it can be given as the taking the average of all these observations, that is x1 plus x2 plus x3 so on up to xn divided by n, which will be represented as x bar. So this x bar will be the true value of the quantity, which can also be expressed in the summation form as 1 by n summation xi, I ranging from 1 to n. Next is absolute error. Now if we compare x bar with these x1, x2, x3, x4, so on up to xn values, then few of the values present in our data set will be less than x bar. Few of the values present in our data set will be greater than x bar. That means if we take the difference of x bar, average value, which is the true value, and these measured values, then the difference will not be equal to 0. For some of the observation it will be equal to 0, but for some it will not be. So the difference of true value and the observed value, we call it as the absolute error, which is represented as delta x. So absolute error in the first observation x1, it is x bar minus x1. Absolute error in the second observation delta x2 is x bar minus x2. Similarly, absolute error delta x3 in the third observation will be x bar minus x3, and in the last observation it will be x bar minus xn. Now, just like we were getting different values of x, we came across a problem which value has to be taken as a true value of the physical quantity. We removed the problem by taking the average and considering the average as the true value. Similarly, when we try to find out the absolute error, the error in each of the physical quantity by taking the difference of x bar and these x1, x2, x3, so on up to xn, we come across the absolute error values delta x1, delta x2, delta x3, so on up to delta xn. We again found the same problem, that even these delta x errors, they are also different. They are varying from observation to observation. So which of the error value, delta x1, delta x2, delta x3 or delta xn, has to be considered as the real value of the absolute error? It is a problem again. So we employ the same method. What we do, we take the average of all these delta x and we take the average value of all these delta x as the true value of the absolute error, which is known as the mean absolute error. So mean absolute error is the arithmetic mean of positive magnitude of all the absolute errors. This you have to look out, that arithmetic mean of positive magnitude of all the absolute errors is called as mean absolute error, which is given as delta x bar equal to delta x1 plus delta x2 plus delta x3 plus so on up to delta xn divided by n, which is in summation form 1 by n summation mod of delta xi, I going from 1 to n. Mod means when we are finding the delta x1, delta x2, delta x3 or delta xn, we are to consider only positive values, remove negative sign. So we have measured the true value of the physical quantity as delta x bar, and the mean absolute error as a delta x bar. So our final result of the physical quantity can be expressed as x bar plus minus delta x bar. This means that the actual value of the physical quantity which we have measured, it lies in between x bar minus delta x bar and x bar plus delta x bar. Because error is present in our measurement, we can never find the true value. We can just make a guess that our value, actual value, may lie between x bar minus delta x bar and x bar plus delta x bar. Next is relative error. If we divide mean absolute error and the true value, we get relative error, and if we multiply it with 100, we get the percentage error. Now a simple example to understand how to calculate these kinds of errors. A question: the length of a rod measured in an experiment was found to be, so rod length was measured in an experiment. The result were expressed as 2.48 meter, 2.46 meter, 2.49 meter, 2.50 meter, 2.48 meter. We had to find out the average length, relative error and the percentage error. So you can see all the 5 observations, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, they are varying from each other. So we consider them as x1, x2, x3, x4 and x5, and average length, which is the true length of the rod, it can be expressed by taking the average, which will be x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 x5 divided by 5, which will be 2.482 meter. So when we took the average length, we came across the result 2.482 meter, which contains 4 significant figures. The result is expressed up to third decimal place. But if we look at the observation, the result is expressed only up to 2 decimal places, that is up to containing only 3 significant figures. So it should also contain 3 significant figures. We are removing 2 less than 5, result is 2.48 meter. So this is the x bar, which is the actual value of the length of the rod. Then absolute error in each cases will be delta x1, delta x2, delta x3, delta x4, delta x5, which can be found by taking the difference of x bar and x1, x2, x3, x4. So these are the differences, which is the absolute error. And then mean absolute error, it will be equal to the average value of all of these, which will be equal to 0.05 over 5, which will be 0.01. One thing over here, these two values, they are negative, minus 0.01 and minus 0.02. Remember, when we are calculating the absolute error, we are not considering the negative sign, only the positive magnitudes. So after removing these negative signs, we are left with the value 0.01 and 0.02. So if we add all these values, 0 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 0, it gives us 0.05. So this is the mean absolute error. This means that our correct length will be x bar plus minus delta x bar, which will be 2.48 plus minus 0.01 meter. Then relative error will be 0.01 over 2.48, and percentage error will be 0.01 over 2.48 into 100, which will be 0.40%. So our correct length is this much. This means that our actual value, it will be 2.48 minus 0.01 to 2.48 plus 0.01 meter. It can vary in this range, that is 2.47 meter to 2.49 meter. So this is how we measure all the different types of errors. Thank you.